We have a standard for that position, truthfully, for every position, but unquestionably for the quarterback role. There's a clear benchmark for how we play, how we operate, how we protect the football, and how we carry ourselves on the field. Yes, there are aspects Shedeur can refine, and he will refine them, but overall, I thought the execution was sharp, and that's crucial when you've got multiple guys rotating in. Kevin Stefanski's response to Shedeur Sanders' breakout debut was shockingly subdued. After watching his rookie quarterback deliver a poised, efficient, and game-changing performance that seemed destined to draw immediate praise, Stefanski barely acknowledged it. Instead of celebrating the young man who just led the Browns to a commanding victory, the head coach appeared almost intent on downplaying Sanders' impact. Browns fans, this is the same franchise that has burned through quarterbacks like disposable lighters, just watched a rookie carve up the Panthers' first-team defense in preseason action. 14 completions on 23 attempts, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, a Saza Todik Iges Nyolk-tized passer rating. And yet Stefanski reacted as if he were describing a mid-July weather forecast. The silence and lack of genuine recognition are baffling, especially given the pressure and expectations surrounding Sanders. It's as if Stefanski refused to give even an inch of credit despite the obvious talent and composure the rookie displayed under the lights. This reluctance to acknowledge excellence after such a commanding showing sparks real questions about his coaching philosophy, the locker room's internal dynamics, and where the Browns' future truly lies. Let's be blunt. Shedeur Sanders has already proven he's more than capable of leading this team to the playoffs. Possibly further. Did no one else notice those razor-sharp reads? That pocket composure? That controlled aggression? The Cleveland media certainly has. Even Mary Kay is side-eyeing the organization's narrative, wondering if there's a deeper agenda at play. And now fans are demanding one thing: more Shedeur Sanders. This isn't about coach speak or managing expectations. This is about a head coach who just watched his 5th-round draft pick look like a franchise quarterback and somehow acted like it was just another practice rep. Yes, Shedeur took 2 sacks. Yes, he extended a scramble longer than necessary. Yes, he's still learning the NFL system after starting camp buried on the 4th string. But that's what every great quarterback's first breakthrough looks like. Tom Brady threw for the 168 yards in his first playoff win. Peyton Manning tossed 28 interceptions his rookie year. Aaron Rodgers sat behind Brett Favre for 3 full seasons. Now we're supposed to believe that Shedeur's debut, completing over 60% of his passes and posting a triple-digit passer rating, is nothing more than a learning experience? Please. Cleveland has a quarterback controversy brewing, and their head coach is pretending it's business as usual. Are you serious? This is the same Cleveland that's been searching for a franchise quarterback since the Clinton administration. The same Cleveland that watched Baker Mayfield flame out, Deshaun Watson implode, and a revolving door of veterans fail to move the needle. The same Cleveland that somehow stole Sanders in the 5th round with the 144th pick. And now, instead of letting the city rally behind the most promising young quarterback they've had in decades, the organization seems more concerned with keeping him contained. Perhaps because they already know the plan is to push him back to the bench. After all, he's only a 5th-round quarterback. The second QB they took in the draft, which is absurd in itself. Look, every rookie quarterback faces adversity. Every single one. But somehow, when it's Shedeur Sanders orchestrating 3 touchdown drives across nearly 3 full quarters of action, it gets buried in the fine print. When it's someone else dropping passes over 4 defenders into the hands of a receiver for a highlight reel one-hander, it's treated like a national holiday. Kevin Stefanski doesn't owe Shedeur anything. Not starter reps, not public fanfare, not a red carpet rollout at the 50-yard line. But Browns fans do deserve honesty about what they witnessed Friday night. And don't you dare fall for the it's just preseason excuse. If Shedeur had thrown 2 interceptions instead of 2 touchdowns, the same critics would have been calling him trash by Saturday morning. But because he played like an NFL caliber quarterback, suddenly it's, oh well, it's only preseason. This matters. Those of us who saw him in college and know the game know this was a first-round talent who just happened to slip to day 3. The most telling part of this whole saga isn't what Stefanski said, it's what he didn't say. When asked directly about Shedeur's performance, his response was the most generic, paint-by-numbers coach speak possible. Pleased with Shedeur. Pleased with the offense, not perfect. Plenty to work on. That's it. That's the verdict on a 5th-round rookie who just exceeded expectations while working almost exclusively with backups he's barely practiced with. Now compare that to how other coaches gush about breakout performances from their young quarterbacks. Compare that to LeBron James, yes, LeBron, posting on social media, "That young man looking good out there, keep going up." Compare that to the national media giving Sanders his flowers. Browns fans, on the other hand, aren't buying the reserved routine. Some are outright calling for Stefanski's job over what they see as dismissive comments about their new favorite player. They're dissecting his body language, questioning whether he wanted Sanders to fail, and accusing him of protecting veteran quarterbacks' egos rather than acknowledging the obvious talent right in front of him. And honestly, how can you not love this story? Deion Sanders, an icon and Hall of Fame legend, now watching his son torch NFL defenses right out of the gate. Let's talk about what actually went down in Charlotte. Shedeur Sanders didn't just have a solid game. He had the kind of debut that changes organizational trajectories. He delivered darts into tight windows, extended plays with his legs, and led the Browns to a 30-10 rout, while displaying the kind of poise and football IQ you simply cannot teach. Touchdown 1, a perfect 7-yard strike to Caden Davis, threading the ball between 2 defenders in the back corner of the end zone. Touchdown 2, another bullet to Davis, this time from 12 yards, showcasing anticipation and timing beyond his years. But here's what really grabs you. Sanders was pressured on 12 of his 27 dropbacks and still completed 5 of 9 passes for 81 yards under duress. He turned potential drive-killing sacks into first downs. He avoided double-digit yardage losses with split-second escapes. He looked like a seasoned pro while having been 4th on the depth chart, days before kickoff. So the real question is, are we going to spend the season nitpicking Shedeur Sanders, or are we going to admit he belongs in the league now? They said he bombed his formal interviews. They said he was entitled. They said he was a developmental quarterback. Last night, the only thing that looked developmental were the excuses from the broadcast booth. He showed poise, mobility, and big play capability. The culture shock here isn't for Sanders. It's for the league executives realizing the kid they doubted just lit up an NFL defense. So why is Kevin Stefanski pretending this was nothing special? Why downplay it when every objective eye saw something extraordinary? Maybe he's protecting Joe Flacco, the 40-year-old placeholder penciled in for Week 1. Maybe he's avoiding a QB controversy in an already crowded room. Maybe he's sticking to some rigid long-term development plan. But when injuries sidelined Kenny Pickett and Dillon Gabriel, Sanders stepped in and delivered the kind of performance that should have immediately earned first-team reps. Instead, Stefanski's response was cold detachment. We need to see where everybody is health-wise. I'm focused on all of our quarterbacks' development. That's not leadership. That's playing it safe to the point of absurdity. And the dangerous precedent it sets, it tells your rookie quarterback that even an exceptional performance won't be rewarded with recognition. It sends a dangerous message to your fan base that their own eyes are deceiving them. It signals to the media that you are either incapable or unwilling to recognize obvious talent when it's staring you in the face. Browns fans have already mobilized, lighting up social media with posts calling out Kevin Stefanski's lifeless body language, suggesting he wanted his rookie quarterback to stumble. They're demanding coaching changes if this is how breakthrough performances will be handled. They're questioning whether their head coach even has the vision to spot a franchise quarterback when one is standing right in front of him. And truthfully, their frustration is entirely justified. This isn't about demanding Shedeur Sanders be anointed the starter after one preseason game. It's not about throwing the depth chart in the shredder. It's about basic acknowledgment of excellence, giving credit where it's blatantly due. Against the Carolina Panthers, Shedeur went 14 for 23, tossed 2 touchdowns, and led 3 scoring drives with a poise that belied his rookie status. And yet, at the podium, Stefanski responded like he was recapping a Tuesday walkthrough. This is where it gets bizarre. Stefanski's reputation is supposed to be that of a quarterback developer. The guy who can spot raw potential, nurture it, and elevate it. The guy with the football IQ to recognize when a player makes the leap. But when Sanders delivered that leap on Friday night, Stefanski's comments sounded like he was talking about a fringe practice squad player, not a possible franchise changer. The most damning part wasn't what Stefanski said about Sanders, it was what he refused to say. Even after Sanders handled pressure with surgical precision, made veteran-level throws, and proved he could command the offense, Stefanski wouldn't commit to giving him a single first-team rep. Instead, we got the classic safe zone quote. We're really just focused on developing our players. We're in evaluation mode. That's coach speak for, I'm not ready to admit I might have been wrong about the depth chart. Body language is easy to read. Someone wasn't thrilled about Shedeur's success. And here's the kicker. Sanders isn't just a bright spot. He's the Browns' best long-term hope at quarterback. You think Shedeur will forget his head coach treating him like he was just another guy? Not a chance. And if Deion Sanders ever finds himself in Berea, Kevin might have more than just quarterback questions to answer. Here's the reality every objective observer sees. Shedeur Sanders proved he belongs in the conversation for meaningful playing time. He proved he can handle NFL pressure. He proved he can make the kind of throws that win football games. He proved his poise and pocket presence are rare commodities, like things you can't teach. Most importantly, he proved he's already better than at least 2 quarterbacks ahead of him on the depth chart. And yet, Stefanski is still acting like Sanders needs to earn opportunities that his performance has already justified. He's treating a 5th-round steal like an undrafted camp arm instead of a player who could change the franchise's trajectory. How long before other teams start circling, realizing Cleveland might let this gem sit idle out of stubbornness? How long before the Browns find themselves regretting that they wasted a potential franchise quarterback because their head coach refused to adjust? If Sanders goes 19 for 20 for 300 yards next game, you can bet Stefanski will still stand at that podium, insisting practice reps tell a different story. And Browns fans, they won't buy it because they saw the game. This awkward tension isn't just about one preseason outing. It's about organizational philosophy. It's about whether the Cleveland Browns are genuinely committed to finding their long-term answer at the most important position in the sport. Kevin Stefanski's response to Shedeur Sanders' breakthrough told us everything about his priorities. He's more concerned with managing locker room personalities than maximizing talent. He's more committed to his pre-written plan than adapting to new evidence. He's more focused on avoiding controversy than seizing the kind of performance that could finally solve Cleveland's biggest problem. Browns fans deserve better. Shedeur Sanders deserves better. The performance spoke loudly. The only question now is whether the head coach is willing to listen to what everyone else already knows. Shedeur Sanders is special, and pretending otherwise won't change that fact. Time will tell if Stefanski is smart enough to get out of his own way. But one thing is already certain. Shedeur Sanders has officially arrived in the NFL, whether his head coach wants to acknowledge it or not.